All right. Well, thank you all for coming on tonight with us. And I'm Dr. Walt Scott. I have a chiropractic office here in Liberty Hill, Texas. Some of y'all on the call tonight are invites from me personally, so thank you for being here. This is my wife, Nikki, that has joined me tonight as well. And we have over the years, I've been in practice for 20 years, and over the years, I've had a number of different things come across my purview as far as how I can help enhance the health of my patients. And um, in fact, it happens a lot. It happens a lot to the point where you get a little bit vanilla with what comes across sometimes. And Nikki introduced me to Life Vantage, which we're going to talk about tonight. And in that introduction to Life Vantage, I've had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Jessica, who you're going to hear from tonight as well. Um, Dr. Jessica, Dr. Jess, I feel like I call you Dr. Jess, but Dr. Jessica is a chiropractor also, and she is on the scientific advisory board for Life Vantage and is a plethora of knowledge when it comes to the benefit of what these different things can provide. And I'm always looking at chiropractic first and the health of my patients, but then how can I supplement that? How can I boost that? How can I provide more? And I'm into all things natural. And these things that Dr. Jess is going to share tonight are components of health that really kind of move the ball down the court and get you to that level of optimal health that we're all trying to achieve. And so I don't know if Nikki has anything more to say. I said more than I planned on, to be honest with you. But without further ado, we'd love to hear from Dr. Jess tonight and just kind of share all the knowledge that she has on LifeVantage.
Awesome. Thank you for the intro. And I'm really glad to be here to talk to you guys about this. And as Dr. Scott said, I'm also a chiropractor. I'm in the middle of nowhere, South Dakota, right in the center. I'm married to a farmer. I have 5 kids. And when this came into my life, I really thought this was going to be another baggie on my desk at the end of the week that I threw away because as mentioned, there's always someone that has something that they want you to offer to your patients. And so it's sifting and sorting and finding those things that really do align with you and the way you practice and what that can be. And I have since come up with the saying that chiropractic is to the nervous system what activation is to the cell. And so I'm hoping to explain to you through the science and some of the studies without getting too nerdy, but also sharing a ton of stories over the 8 years that I've been partnered with this company. And I'm on my second year on the scientific advisory board. And I really feel that this is something very unique, something very different that just allows your body, excuse me, to function as it was designed to. Different than chiropractic, but alongside chiropractic. So why does life get out of balance? Man, I have a tickle in my throat. Everyday occurrences, our diet, our stress, our medications, aging, lack of sleep, our environment. There are so many reasons we need adjustments regularly, right? And there are also reasons our bodies get out of balance and are in need of care. And there's a gradual shift in how the body then responds. So biologically, it feels like the body's doing the same thing as it always has, just with less efficiency and slower recovery. And this shows in our brain, our cognition. We start to have slower processing, less clarity, less focus. In our muscles and our movement, we have slower recovery and stiffness, loss of muscle mass. In our energy and metabolism, we have lower energy, hormonal shifts. In our cells and repair system, we see reduced cellular renewal. We see slow, clunky cellular machinery. And that's where LifeVantage comes in. with what we call the activation company. And before this, really the only time I'd heard the word activate was in relation to your bank card. But when it came to your cells, I was like, what does that actually mean? So we're used to hearing about or talking about whether your cells have like sufficient nutrients or they're deficient in nutrients, like they have enough of it or that they need some more of it, or they have something toxic in there that we want to help it get out. But with activation, we're looking at taking God's pharmacy to turn on God's pharmacy inside our cells. So we literally take something so the body will start making it again. And the cool thing is, God put these pathways inside our bodies. And with activation, we're literally just giving that signal for the genes to express those specific genes. So the body starts doing and processing things the way that it should be. So, like I said, the activation company, there's thousands of supplement companies. There is one activation company. The research I'm going to show you, we're the only company that does this basic process of research, patents, and then results. And we patent our products because it protects our recipes, but it also shows that our synergy, that we can prove that our synergistic blend does something different than taking the components separately. So we're not just borrowing research from other companies that have studies on specific things in the product. We're literally finding out what our exact product does on a cellular level. And then we perform human studies to show what it does in humans. And then we get to be our own studies because every human body is so different. So everything happens at a specific speed that is so unique to you. So we take it to make it. We empower our bodies to make antioxidants, proteins, peptides, enzymes, the things you need for better health. And when you share LifeVantage with others, you're also activating an opportunity to earn supplemental income. I'm going to go back to this one. So when I first looked at this company, which this first part that I'm going to show you here, all I really knew about network marketing or direct sales was to avoid it. 100%. That's all I knew about it. I knew there was a bad reputation there, and that's it. But when I got through the research on just their flagship product, I knew there was something so special here. And that if this did what it said it was going to do, that I could bless a lot of people with activation. And that's what I really want you to focus on here is the science, the studies, the potential of what could happen in you if your body was taking it to make it. What could be different in your outcome in your life? What in your health do you want to see a change in? And if we could do something on a cellular level to help your body then have healthy tissues, to have healthy organs and organ systems and a healthy body, what would be different for you? What would life be like for you? If you could think about, like, instead of just like, what do I want to look like in a swimming suit? Like, how do I want to function when I'm 80? Just think about that. Like, what's going to be like? What's your outcome? What's your goals when it comes to your health? So we started in 2003 with one peer-reviewed published study that showed we could lower oxidative stress on average 40% in 30 days, a claim that had yet to have been made. And in 2005, ABC did a primetime investigation on us to debunk that claim. If you have yet to see that ABC primetime clip, ask whoever invited you here to get you that clip and watch it. I know it's old. That was 2005. I know it's 2026, right? But what they describe in there and then predict, there are now studies proving the things that they predicted in it, which is super cool. And because of this ABC primetime investigation, and because instead of debunking the claim, John Quinones had a 45% reduction in his oxidative stress load in just 2 weeks. You guys, in just 2 weeks. Then major universities and institutions started doing their own self-funded research on our patented product. And that is where the secret sauce happened. This is where we learn that these 5 components, you may be even taking some of these: turmeric, green tea, bacopa, milk thistle, ashwagandha. But when you take this God's pharmacy, these basic herbs in the right synergistic blend, your body starts making its own antioxidant enzymes at the rate of 1 million every single second in a bell-shaped curve, like our body was designed, like God designed our NRF2 pathway to work. You literally send the signal to the DNA, and that master switch comes on, and you start producing things like glutathione, superoxide dismutase, catalase. These are really, really powerful antioxidant enzymes, much more powerful than our fruits and vegetables and our vitamin C and our E and the things that we are more familiar with. So you take Protandim NRF2 and you start making antioxidants. Oxidative stress is the root of aging. It is the wear and tear of our cells. It's like the rusting inside our bodies. And antioxidants fight oxidative stress. And activation is the most powerful way of doing that, backed by over 30 peer-reviewed studies with 7 US patents and international patents. Each patent is proving that it gives a certain benefit. And if you're into knowing the research, go look at those patents and tell me, wow, when you get done looking at them. Just, it's really, really cool what it is that we have proven that it can do. This shows the synergy if you took those ingredients versus when you take this synergistic blend. I don't know about you, but I'll take the red bar if that's going to be good things happening inside my body. And that's exactly what it is. This is like having your built-in defense, your good guys from the inside fighting for you. This shows some of the places that did the research. At the time of its publication in the journal Circulation, the Journal of the American Heart Association, it was the only natural product ever featured in that journal at the time. Even fish oil hadn't been mentioned in that journal. There are some prestigious universities and institutions that did their own self-funded research here. Again, this is all available in pubmed.gov where doctors do their research. I'm going to highlight a few of them before I start telling you some really cool stories about this product. So Washington State University says NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. NRF2 is a master regulator of detoxification, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and other cytoprotective mechanisms. Literally anything good you could want to have happen in a cell happens by way of NRF2. Detoxification, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and other cytoprotective, cell protective mechanisms. You guys, we are cells. We are literally a bunch of cells organized beautifully by God, very uniquely imprinted. And we can literally go into the cell and turn on that master switch. This one was huge to me as a chiropractor, and I still, every time I have anybody with anything going on with their nervous system, hello, all of us, we all have a brain and a spinal cord. This was published in Multiple Sclerosis Journal. They studied their toxic drug in comparison to Protandim, and they found that, interestingly, Protandim, a supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may be the most therapeutic strategy. Have you ever heard a drug company say, oh, by the way, we found something that's even better, and it's just some herbs, well, they wrote the study, but they still have this drug on the market. It's $52,000 for a 3-month supply. It's about $150 a month for a 3-month supply of NRF2 Protandim. NRF2 activators are able to protect oligodendrocytes. That's the basic cell of your nervous system. So why do I think everybody in the world deserves to hear about this? This right here. Your brain is one of the most sensitive areas to oxidative stress. And there's another study that had a p-value of 0.0001, meaning if 10,000 people took it, 9,999 would get the anticipated result. And there was a 2 to 4 time increase in glutathione production in specifically kidney and brain, and even higher production of antioxidants happened in the brain. Why? Because God made us so incredible, you guys. Your brain needs the most protection. It's the most sensitive. So it would need the most protection. Like it's like protecting the most valuable asset that you have in your body, right? Really, really cool. Oregon State University says when it finds a problem, NRF2 essentially goes back to the nucleus and rings the alarm bell where it can turn on genes that are responsible for cellular repair, detoxification of carcinogens, protein and lipid metabolism, antioxidant production, and others. The scientists called it a longevity assurance factor. Ah! Like I'm barely even getting on scratching the surface on the studies on this. And if you just turned off this right now and were like, okay, that's it. I'm going to take one of these for the rest of my life. That would literally be the commitment I made to myself when I got done reading the 30 studies. It's literally a banker's box. I have it at my office. I know it's super nerdy and it's nothing that anyone needs to do. You don't have to do that. You don't have to read every single study. You just have to know that it's there. It's validated. And if 10,000 people take it and 9,999 are going to get the anticipated result, you can sure as heck bet I'm going to keep telling people about it because that is sharing with confidence. Do you know what the confidence is with other things I could recommend? Very little. Do you know how many bottles of magnesium or fish oil I recommended that people have bought from really bad sources that were full of toxins? And do you know how much I got back from that? Like nothing. It's just, there's such a cool thing when you can recommend something that you really, really know is going to do something for someone else. And that's a power of activation, taking something to make something. And NRF2 is, it's so many things, so many powerful things. It's the absolute base, the one thing I think everyone should take for the rest of their lives, no matter what. And I don't say that about things. So just, I know we're all new here. We're all just becoming friends. Hi, I'm your friend. And I got a little crazy on that one. Apologize. Okay, so we're going to keep going here. And I'm going to get through just a few more of my favorite products. This is the Healthy Glow Stack. It is our Protandim NRF2 with our liquid collagen. So collagen, you've heard of, right? And this collagen is a little different. It's a collagen activator. So again, we're taking it so the body will start making its own collagen again. Instead of just dumping collagen in to refill what is missing, we're turning on those factories inside our cells so we start producing our own collagen again. We also influence the gene to slow down the collagen degradation as well. So we're not breaking it down as quickly. And then we're also turning on the factories to start producing it. And it actually has 10 peptides in this bottle instead of 1 to 3, which is what typically is. It's in a dark bottle, preserves it, keeps it fresh. But when you take these two together, we have studies on these independently, and we also have studies on the two of them together. But this helps to maintain your body's own natural collagen. This is so much more than hair, skin, and nails, you guys. And chiropractors, what do we care about? Well, we care about the nervous system. We also care about joints, muscles, tendons. We care about the entire human body because it all affects the other thing. It's not like, okay, well, you came in for your foot. We're just going to check your foot. No, your foot's connected to the rest of you too. There's always a ripple effect, and one thing affects the others. But this combo also significantly reduces cellular stress. So I like to call this the chiropractor's BFF. You're going to hear me talking about that because I really, really have seen so many super cool things with this in my patients. I can tell the patients that take this from the ones that do not. Their bodies hold adjustments better. Their ability to handle their stress load is better. Their muscle tone is different. They have less heat and their texture of their muscles is different in a short period of time. Taking these two cuts the stress perpetuation in a third and doubles your collagen density in just 8 weeks. What do chiros really care about? The highest concentration of collagen is in bones, tendons, discs, joint cartilage, and skin. Type 1 is most abundant in our skin, bones, tendons, ligaments, fascia, discs. Type 2, peripheral nerves, joints, articular cartilage, discs. Type 3, muscles, blood vessels, organs. You get the picture, you guys. There's a lot of collagen in a lot of really important things in your body, right? And these are the things you're probably visiting your chiropractor for, at least when you first start, till you realize it's everything, right? It's everything. So the results of Nerve 2 and collagen, again, really cool study. You can dive into that whole thing if you're into the nerdy stuff. I just want to show you this one. This one's that master switch for stress, that NF kappa B pathway, where we can cut that in a third. So this is that hamster wheel thing. You ever felt like your stress just continually goes like, we're never getting a break. We just keep rolling on this stress, 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 stress. What if you could just tone that down a little bit, have a third less of that perpetuation, where you just had some moments in there where you could breathe a little bit? It also decreases some other cellular signaling that's also really big with not only stress, but a lot of other things that some of you may be dealing with. I encourage you, if you have any symptom, condition, or disease, to check out some of these other pathways that are involved, because there's some cool stuff when you see what these are and what that could mean in your body as well. Before and afters. People love before and afters. I mean, come on, 7 days, this happens to your chin. You probably would tell a few people, right? How about if it was your thighs? This is my friend Maria and my friend Nancy. I actually know these people. I have seen their legs. I my own before and after pictures as well. And so just imagine for a moment, if this is happening on the outside, what's happening on the inside? Because we just talked about all the things that are made up of collagen. So much more than, again, your hair, skin, and nails. I mean, those are important, a little bit of vanity. But you know what? Some people want to look good as they age too, right? I mean, that's okay. Like if we could have the double bonus, that would be good. Okay, I got to move this a little bit so you guys can see this picture a little bit better. This is a friend of mine, a chiropractor. This is a before and after picture of his x-rays after he got to add in collagen. I know the x-rays are kind of cruddy if you're used to looking at x-rays, but what I want you to notice is this guy went from needing to be adjusted 4 to 5 times a week to only feeling like he actually needed it like once or twice a month, and losing 50 pounds, doing nothing else different. And his disc heights increased, just adding the collagen to his NRF2. This is literally the chiropractor's, like literally the chiropractor's best friend. Do I think you should do other lifestyle changes, you guys? 100%. This is in addition to a healthy lifestyle. It's not like take this and go to McDonald's and skip your chiropractor. No, this is your chiropractor's best friends. That means it hangs out with your chiropractor too. This supports your adjustment in so many ways. So aside from this guy, I want to give you just a few more stories with the Healthy Glow. When I was first introduced to this, the most testimonies I got were from both men and women on performance in the bedroom. Yep, didn't see that one coming, did ya? Neither did I. I actually had to look that baby up because there's a lot of cool research behind that too. I also had a bunch of testimonies from women that were not getting up in the middle of the night to go pee, where they were before. The most changes I noticed in people right away with this is their sleep. The sleep that you get when you have this on board is incredible. And I can give you that too. Like for my own testimony, before activation, I had 4 little kids. I was burning both ends of the clock. My husband was super busy farming. It was me, the kids, and the practice. And my practice was a waiting list practice. So I kept adding more hours and seeing more patients. And honestly, my kids were getting what was left of me. And my husband and I were like ships passing in the night. So we barely saw each other. And I just remember thinking like, man, there's got to be a better way. And I would get up earlier and do the self-care before, go to work, do the stuff with the kids, crash at night, and just always being awake, always waking up tired and waking up to an alarm. And I started taking this. And the first thing I noticed I mean, I always have been a good sleeper. Like it takes me 3 breaths and I fall asleep. I can just lay down and boom, I'm done in that position until I wake up. But I was waking up before my alarm and I was feeling rested. And my hair had been falling out like crazy. And I'd done all the lab testing, seen multiple doctors. Everything was good as far as my labs go. 1 month on this, went back for my hair appointment, and my hairdresser said to me, "What are you doing? You have all this new hair growth on your head, even on the sides of your hair, where most women never get their hair to grow back in." I'm like, "Woo, another cool perk." And then there's another story I have, which I'm going to talk about with another product at the end, as far as my energy, but very sustainable energy that was happening. Those were just the things that I noticed right away. Oh, okay. So I'm going to slide us back over here again. So we need to get to the root of issues. And I really think getting back to the health of our cells is what really can help us get to that healthy human part as well. And that's where I think activation is to the cell, what chiropractic is to the nervous system. And they go hand in hand together. The industry rewards innovation, and some of the biggest health breakthroughs have come through direct sales. Cutting edge innovation with Protandim NRF2. Like legit, you literally cannot find another product that has the kind of research that this one product has on it. And gut health is the next. How many on here have heard of anything related to gut? Because there's a lot of various gut issues. It's considered our second brain, 70 to 90% of your immune function, almost all of your neurotransmitters, your happy chemicals, your feel good chemicals are made in your gut, not your brain. And there's this continual communication that's going on between there. With chiropractors, we talk about this all the time. There's such a cool connection there. But it's anything digestive that you can possibly think of, from heartburn, constipation, diarrhea, irritable bowel, um, skin stuff. Just the gut is so crucial for so many areas of our health. It's a rapidly growing market. It's emerging science. And now we've added it with our activation approach. And this is really where things are starting to get wild. So life is hard, and how do you win the fight? And that's where I want to talk to you about our defense again with Protandim NRF2. This is our good guys from the inside fighting that oxidative stress and those free radicals. And now we have our gut activator. It's called P84, Love Biome P84. It's the longest name ever. You take these 2 packets and you get this swampy looking water, and it's delicious. I know it looks bad. So if you don't like the look, then you get to dump it into a container that has color so you don't see it. But you literally fire up your body's second brain to produce key peptides to regulate, repair, and restore your gut. Peptides, also a buzzword right now, but all I want you to think about when you hear peptides is it's the way our cells talk to each other. They talk to each other through peptides. So you have your defense with your Protandim, and then you have your gut playing that offense, the communication between them. And what makes it different is when you have that 24/7 offense and defense, when your body is constantly monitoring, adjusting, and responding to the onsets of life. We have studies on that too. We are actually currently patent pending on the combo. And we have a study on the P84 on its own, and then we have the 2 together, this stack. And the last and final product I'm going to talk to you about tonight was the one I was going to also relate with my own story, which is this Axio, our brain messenger drink. This is like being able to throw the dart at the dartboard and hit the bullseye every time. It helps with that squirrel brain, that mom brain. It helps you develop or use that executive functioning part of your brain to support your brain and your body, because most fatigue that we see in our physical body is actually from our mental body. And this was the one I was going to tell you about relative to my story. I was doing Beachbody workouts at the time, and there was one called Max 30, and you were supposed to basically not be able to make it through the 30 minutes, right, without maxing out. And I mean, they were hard. And I made it through my first max 30 without maxing out. Was on day 7 of drinking Axio. I had the Axio before I did it, and I finished the whole workout. And I was like, "What just happened?" Like I was like just celebrating, just having that energy, but just really, it is for your brain. So this is a picture of my friend Amy's daughter Ayla in the 3rd grade doing a spelling test, struggling all over the place. Like, look at that writing. Drinks Axio, retakes the test 15 minutes later, and look at that. It's fast and it tastes good and it's so healing for your brain. Okay, so before we go to the next slide, I know I have another friend and colleague on here, Dr. Cece, and I was going to have her share her story real quick using the well, you can tell whatever you want to share, what you've used. But I know you've used the chiropractor's BFF and the Axio, and even a few of our other activators as well. So whatever you'd like to share, quick, and then we'll move on to the next slide, quick.
Hi, everyone. So glad that you're all here tonight. And yeah, thanks, Dr. Jess, for this opportunity to just get to share a little bit about my experience with activation. And a lot like Dr. Jess, I think I was very apprehensive. Like, there's no way there can be something that simple. There's no way there can be something that does what this does. And for me personally, I had been doing a lot of kind of research towards oxidative stress, and it was like, there's got to be something. So I kept looking, and then this bouncy chiropractor connected with me, and I said, "Oh, okay, wait, did you say oxidative stress?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, well, that's what I've been researching." So, basically my story goes is, in high school, I was a competitive athlete and I ran track competitively and soccer and basketball and highly competitive on all of those as well. And my senior year, we did well in soccer and had high competitions, and I blew out my knee. And that was just devastating. And turns out I make lots of scar tissue. And so I went down this long journey of how does the body work? How does the mechanical function of this work? And it led me to learn physical therapy and nutrition and try literally everything under the sun to help knee pain and joint pain. And even after chiropractic school, nutrition helped. But it was still there. It still felt like God had something else for me. And so when Dr. Jess had introduced Nerve 2 and collagen to me, it really was within that first month. Boy, I had smell and taste back that got dull from COVID, and I started bouncing and I stopped cracking like a firecracker every time I bent over to adjust a cervical spine. And that to me was pretty remarkable. And just like a good scientist, I stopped taking the products for about a month or two to see, how long does this last? Do I have to take this forever? And the reality was it took a long time to start feeling knee pain again. But it was when I started to feel it again, I realized, ooh, but I know what to do for this knee pain. And so it just became something that I kept in my rhythm and in my natural products, along with Axio. I mean, I'm a mom of two and I work with a lot of moms and babies all day. And so there's a lot of brain fog and a lot of, one day I forgot what the word spinal cord was. That was pretty embarrassing considering I'm a chiropractor. And that's when I realized, yeah, I don't forget the word spinal cord anymore. I actually don't forget the word anything anymore. So it feels pretty good to have the confidence to be the doctor, even though we have busy lives, and even though, it feels good to have tools that really do keep us going and keep our patients going. So, those are the big ones for me that really helped. And then soon after about 3 or 4 months, I started taking the Tri Synergizer, and that's where I really felt a charge of energy. And I really, I kind of just shifted away all this like natural inflammation that my body had been holding on to. So my clothes fit better, my energy skyrocketed. And so, it really was, I really started to see, wow, this really is doing what it says it's meant to do, and then fast forward to, late October of what was that, 23 or 24 that we got Mind Body, Dr. Jess?
24.
24, right? Okay. So I jumped on board and thought, you know what? I am not a person that needs to lose weight, but I'm definitely a person that I would love to heal all of my other organs of my body. And I would love to maybe have some of that mindful, that mental type of benefit that this product brings. And boy, I would say that I felt more emotionally grounded for the first time in years. I didn't fly off the range every time I was hungry. That was a big one for me because I tend to be a hangry person. So that really took the hanger, and I don't even know what it is anymore. So that part's pretty cool for me. And, quality sleep and of course, a little bit of weight loss too, which is always a bonus. But yeah, I felt like for me, it really was more the mental and the sleep quality that that product made a big change in. So
Awesome. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, and back to this Axia one. I forgot to mention another story on this one. Um, if you're in college or grad school, imagine having this kind of clarity by just drinking a drink, right? Or you're doing your daily life, you're doing all the things, but you're just looking for that little extra edge without all of the garbage that's in what you might currently be going to. And this one, I wanted to tell you a few stories on this. So, the gut health stack, right? This is our healthy edge, we call it offense and defense. So, going with the gut here, I have had patients with ongoing diarrhea that have had amazing changes in a few short days, like life changing changes. And I've also had people that have had chronic constipation that have been able to start going even in the first day or two on this product. I've seen a story of a breastfeeding mom whose baby was having really horrible eczema, and the mom started taking this and the baby's skin completely healed over. Really lots and lots and lots of things that you can think of related to the gut. We're just seeing those, but anything digestive related, anything, if you're sick all the time, your immune system could use a little boost. I mean, really, as far as a foundation, you could pick either of these things. You could go this way, wait, this way or this way, either one, and you could have the changes. It's weird when it goes the wrong way for what I think it's going to do, but you could see it, right? Okay, so you can activate cells, system, brain, gut, tissues, your immune system, skin, hair. We have other activators. Dr. CC was leading into that too. And there are more activators that can be more specific to what you specifically have going on. But I wanted you to just give you those foundation things. Like, where would I start if I was starting one of my patients off with? Where would I start if it were me? And it would totally be one of those two stacks or all four of those products. If I could afford it, I would do all four. And I would, but just getting started somewhere, get in where you fit in, see what's going on in your life, and then we can customize the products to solve your problems. If we know what's going on or what your outcome is, we can literally customize it to make it what is best for you. And remember, everybody is different. This comprehensive approach to health will help people feel better and notice different things as the body gets back into balance. But each person is still as unique as a fingerprint. So you want to be on the lookout for those positive results. And as you get your results, and if you decide to share, there is a business that is attached to these products. So I just want you to get back to whoever invited you here and tell them one of three things. One, you're interested in the products and you kind of know what you want, or you'd like a little direction with that. So products. And then two, you're interested in those products, but you might want to have a conversation about the business possibility. Or three, this really isn't for you, but you know someone who this may be for. And just get back to whoever invited you here and tell them one, two, or three, and then they will help you in the best way possible. So thank you for joining us, and I appreciate your attention. And thank you for coming to science class. Bye. I'm going to stop.